idiot.
Hey, Garbage Belly.
All right. Why
How
am I?
how was your Burger King?
It was good, I guess.
I think mine made me farty.
Why? Why are you like this?
I'm just being honest.
Ugh.
I think it made me gassy.
You need to stop. You're so dumb. So anyway,
We're moving away from gas and farts.
I can move away from you completely forever. Not be your friend anymore. Um. So
That's
you
fine. Who wants to be your friend?
um. So you dialed the wrong number last week. You called Adam Berry.
Oh, yeah.
We're terrible at life.
I'm a dummy. Whatever.
Yeah, it's cool. So
Adam seemed happy to talk to me.
I know he called you.
Unlike you.
I hate talking to you. He called you whore face. That made me really happy.
I think that he thinks he's supposed to insult me because he listens to the podcast. He's a big fan.
He's a big fan. I'm a big fan. You have to insult each other if you talk on here.
I feel like almost everybody insults their friends, right?
I hope.
Because you can get away with it. It's like the one forum, like when you're with your friends, you can call them asshole and dipshit and garbage belly and whoreface, and you know that it doesn't mean anything because you're just being silly with each other.
Yeah. Fucking loser.
But I don't think you can do it to random people in the grocery store.
Just go behind somebody, like they're just grabbing oranges, and I'm like, loser. Not sorry.
So I come around the aisle in a grocery store, and someone's cart is blocking me, and I'm like, "Hey, whoreface, move it!"
Hey, idiot, loser, dumpster.
And they're like, "Oh, you listen to What's Up, Weirdo?"
Yeah, no, you don't. Oh, my bad. Just forget what I said. So we saw last night. We watched A Quiet Place 1 because today we got to go to an advanced screening of Quiet Place 2.
It's the first time we've been to the movies in like a year and a half.
I know, our first time in the movie since the pandy. Oh, I just lurked the Instagram too, and John Krasinski went to the screenings in Miami and New York and Cleveland. We were so close.
So close.
I know, it's okay though. But
I'm glad that we watched part 1 yesterday because
me too.
No spoilers, but this one starts immediately after number 1.
Yeah, the opening sequence of this one is so fucking wild.
Both movies have a bomb, fucking straight, awesome cold open before the credits. It's amazing.
Yeah, I kind of wish the beginning of this one was longer because it was that good.
Yeah.
But I was glad that we watched the last one last night too because it showed the difference in action. The first one was a slow burn and this one was crazy the whole time.
Yeah, I liked it.
I really liked it. I don't how lucky would you be to be in an end of the world situation and you just run into Cillian Murphy? Whoops. Whoops.
But it's not Cillian Murphy.
But it is.
It's an insane version of Cillian Murphy.
Yeah, but I feel like in the trailer they made him out to be a trashy, not good guy, and he turns out to be a good guy.
Wait, are you doing spoilers?
No, that's not a spoiler.
That he turns out to be a good guy?
No, he is I felt like he was since he had 1 second where he was not, but he was better than they let on in the trailer. I thought he was fine.
Well, I don't know if it was me or maybe it's just because he's a good actor, but I kept thinking he was going to take a turn.
Yeah. I feel I don't know what the fuck I watched, but I feel like there was a part in the trailer that wasn't even in the movie.
No, I think that there was stuff in the trailer that wasn't in the film.
Yeah, I feel like I distinctly remember some scene of him standing by a truck and I kept waiting for it and it was nowhere. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
I don't know. It was really good, really entertaining, really good pace. I had to go to the bathroom from about 20 minutes in and I held it and it was fine. And it didn't seem oh my God, I've been holding it for my whole life. It was just oh, it's done.
No,
It
I
went
think
by
that's the
fast.
other thing too. I think both of these movies, I said when we watched the first one again yesterday, like it's paced super well. Like these movies really kind of fly by.
Yeah, I really liked it a lot. And it
Because
was like,
I had to go to the bathroom too, and the first time I looked at I asked you what time it was. You said there was like 40 minutes left or something like that.
mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, I'll just push through that.
Yeah, then it was like over.
Yeah, and then it was done.
I will say too, I feel like this one was more brutal too. Like I won't elaborate on that, but it was like darker and more brutal at times.
No, I feel like this one, while I was watching it, I'll tell you this. While I was watching it, I felt like this is like I love the movie Alien,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't love, but I really like Aliens,
Mm-hmm.
but they're two separate movies. One is a slow burn horror film, and the other is like action adventure horror.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like this movie did that. Like the first
Yeah,
one was a slow burn horror, and this one was now we're going to give you action pieces,
I totally agree. Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. The first one was like you're so scared because you don't know what the fuck is going on and it's quiet and you're like, ugh. And this one is like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
just like the whole time.
Yeah, because you know the rules kind of. Like you know that
Yeah,
when they make noise, like some shit's going to go down. But I think in the first film, there's like two guns are fired in the first film.
yeah, yeah,
And in this movie, you have a gunshot within, no spoilers again, but you do. It's kind of a spoiler. Like you get the first gunshot is like right after the cold open,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
there's multiple guns fired throughout.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like too like in the first one there was they didn't really there was implied gore but there wasn't any gore and then in this one it was kind of there was like some gross part like that train part. I felt bad for her having to
Yes.
see stuff
Yeah.
and they didn't really do that to them in the first one.
But again, comparing it to Alien and Aliens, like in one of the things I really like about the first Alien is you don't see the alien very much.
Mm-hmm.
Like you only see it at the very end. And one
Mm-hmm.
of my problems with Aliens, with the sequel, is
Mm-hmm.
that you see it so much it kind of becomes a rubber suit monster.
Yeah.
And I think this film does that too. Like you see the monster a whole lot more and in a lot more light than you see it in the first film.
I didn't hate it though.
I didn't hate it. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't hate the seeing the monsters that much. I was like into it, but I know what you're saying. But I thought too that it was interesting that they. I don't know if this is a spoiler or not. I don't really think it is if you've seen the first one, but like I find it interesting too that there's just like no origin or motivation or anything for the monsters. We
Yeah,
still don't really know how they got there.
you kind of get a glimpse in the opening.
Yeah, but like still that doesn't
It doesn't explain anything.
oh, nothing. And then also I find it interesting that like it never says like where do they sleep? Where do they live? Where do they hang out? And it just you just don't fucking know anything.
Right.
Which makes it even scarier because you don't know where to stay away from.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. So I kind of like that. It makes it more chaotic, you know?
Yeah.
You have no idea. There's no I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, and I think they set that up in the first film too. Like, not only can they be anywhere, but
Mhm.
they can be somewhere almost immediately.
Yeah, true.
Like if you make in the first film, and this keeps up in this film, like if you make a noise, even if you think you're alone,
Yeah.
you have minutes,
Yeah.
seconds
Second.
to prepare yourself because they're on their way.
Yeah.
I liked it. And a
All right.
50% audience, I like a lot.
Oh my God, yeah. The screening was socially distanced, so there was like a bunch of seats in between everybody. Everybody had masks on. They did temp checks in the line.
Nobody was chewing a pickle in my ear and kicking the back of my seat.
No, and that's the thing I like about both of these movies is the point of the fucking movie is to be quiet. And everybody, even at the most quiet parts of this movie, everybody was so quiet. I loved it. I
Yeah.
loved that. Yeah, it was really good. Hope we
I
get
don't.
to-
I think that this is a good thing. I think that even after the pandemic, instead of masks, I think that you should, when you go to the movies, you should have to wear a gag in your mouth.
You fucking. Can you start right now? Oh god. Okay, I want to get off this topic because if people haven't seen this movie, they're gonna be like, "Cool, I hate this episode." So we can't
What?
talk.
Because we're talking about a horror film?
We can't talk about it the whole time if it doesn't.
I can talk about any fucking thing I want to.
Oh my god, you're so weird. You're like off the rails today.
I woke up after having a weird dream of being married to a lesbian and going.
And then you texted me that you were mad that you hadn't eaten today. Like, you're an adult and you didn't feed yourself, and somehow you got mad at me for it. And I didn't know what to do for you.
Yeah, I am at the point in quarantine where I am tired of me yelling at me.
I was so. You were like, it was like somebody's like kid. Like, I felt like a mom, and you were like, well, I'm starving. And I'm like, and you're like, fine, I just won't eat. And I'm like, who is he talking to? Like, what is happening?
It's me talking to me all day long. And I finally realized I had someone else I could yell at, and it was you.
So you got in the car, and I'm like, here's a fig bar, you psycho. Can you eat? You're like, I made oatmeal.
Imagine what it's like. Here's the thing. You got a glimpse of what it's like in my house when I'm here just by myself and not on the phone. Like, I walk through the house and I go, I'm starving. And then another part of me
today. I didn't eat today.
And I yell at myself. You got dishes to do, why don't you do them? And I go, fine. And it's all spoken out loud.
Oh my god. And you keep your windows open. Your neighbors must be like, what the fuck?
Who cares anymore?
No,
right?
Nobody cares. I know.
So as they hear me screaming and running through my house because there's a squirrel on the back porch.
I know, that's exciting, Joe. That's all we talk about. I was telling somebody the other day, all we talk about are squirrels and birds. And we will call each other and give a daily report of what small animals we saw in our own backyard. And like be so genuinely excited about it. And name the bird. We're like real birders now.
Getting there.
I know. We're like, oh, I saw Grackle.
Baby Grack.
Baby Gracks.
I was watching a Twitter video today of somebody holding a kookaburra.
Oh my god. You're a kookaburra.
I am a kookaburra.
Okay, so listen, we went to the zoo the other day for the first time in like a million years. And
do your legs still hurt?
Yes, a little bit, honestly. Yeah. Like the fronts and backs of my calves, like just the motion of walking was just too much for my legs.
I think it was just standing up for 3 hours.
So much walking. And then like we would get confused and lost and just walk in a fucking circle. It's too much walking.
I can tell my legs hurt. I don't know how this sounds, or I don't think I've ever said this out loud, but I can tell my legs hurt like at night when I go to bed because the cold blankets will feel nice on my legs. Like I'll like move my legs under the blankets. Yeah. So it's almost like a cold blanket massage on my legs. Does that make sense?
Like, oh, my muscle.
Like there's only one.
Literally one. I was like that big calf muscle. That's what I was talking about. Dummy. But no, so you saw a giant bear.
Oh, the bear knew I was coming. We saw it. Then we walked away, and when we came back, he was gone. Mm-hmm. And I said he's going to come back and see me. Mm-hmm. And then he came back and sat right in front of us and talked to us. Yeah,
just like stared at just us, right in front of us. And the first time we went by, they were so cute. There was two of them, and they were like hitting each other in the face, like playfully.
And peeing in their water.
Yeah, one like peed like a million gallons right in the pool. He did not give a fuck.
Don't kink shame.
I'm not.
They like swimming in their pee.
They do. But that one was so big and pretty. And then we saw, what was other highlights?
Other highlights were, we saw the red panda.
Yeah. Oh, and that Arctic fox was so cute.
We saw the Arctic fox taking a little snoozer. And then we saw all the turts.
We did see a lot of baby turts. And we saw that little baby prairie dog.
Yeah, and the kangaroos were all chilling and lazing. We walked through them,
Mm-hmm.
and the baby giraffe.
No. Yeah.
Oh, and we saw good birds when we first got there.
We saw really good birds. That was like the best part.
Super bright. That always blows my mind how bright they are.
I know those pink ones. But and then also you decided that would be the day that we started playing this game that we play now where you punch me in the stomach for a fake. Like I have to make a big loud noise like you punched me. So we were waiting for soft pretzels in line and you fake punched me in the stomach and I made a big ooh and and this small boy saw you do it and he like froze. And then when we both started laughing, he started laughing so hard. Like he thought it was real, and then he's like, "Oh, they're just playing," and he
Yes.
lost it. But then after I was like, "Oh my god, he really thought you slugged a woman in the stomach right in front of him." So that's our new game. And then you made me do it at the movies just now too.
But you didn't do it too loud.
I tried to. We were in an echoey hallway. I was gonna be like,
That's what it would have been. That's what it would have been great.
no, I couldn't do it. I'll do it.
But I know that might trigger people's trauma.
I know. Oh, that's true. Well, but that's not what we're doing.
Like maybe that little kid could have been like, "Oh, that's like at home."
Stop! No. He's just gonna fake punch his friends in the stomach now.
He's just gonna reel.
He's like, this is what you do. I'm gonna fake punch you, and then you go, ooh. And then we were walking. There were so many freaking screaming babies at the zoo. We were walking. We were so hot, and I told you to throw somebody's screaming baby in the lions. Oh, it's crazy.
It's a treat for everybody.
I know it would have been a treat. Just
And
like
then we ate $9 pretzels that were made out of Wonder Bread.
Yeah, they tasted like a donut with like 10% pretzel seasoning. They were not good. We're not getting those again.
No, they weren't good. They tasted sweet, like sweet pretzels.
I know. And they were like undercooked or something.
Yeah.
And those were not it.
Not great.
Not great.
And then after I see the bear, what do I find out? I talk to my dad on the phone and find out that my dad has 3 bears up north at the cabin, at the house up north. And they're climbing around on the deck on the back of the house. And my dad is worried they're going to break in the house.
I know. And we were saying, since your dad is insane and tried to kill you with a hammer before, that wouldn't it be crazy if you're obsessed with bears and then you like psychically predicted that your dad gets eaten by a bear?
Or the bears know that he had threatened me, and so they take him out of the equation.
Yeah, they're just like waiting.
My animals.
They just like stare in the windows.
My dad said that the papa bear took a poop so big it looked like 3 horse poops.
I don't really know the size.
So my dad went graphic. I won't go as graphic as my dad did, but my dad said that the poo pile from the bear was like 13 inches or in diameter around.
Jeez.
And like 7 inches tall.
You like talked about shitting with Adam and now you're talking about shit again.
I'm talking about bear poops.
Gross.
Bear poops are cute.
I feel like I'm never gonna stop laughing, but I'm gonna bring it up. When we were sitting waiting, I can't even talk about it. When we were sitting waiting for the movie to start tonight, I can't. Okay. I was trying to bring up Wes Anderson's movie, I Love Dogs. And I said, Wes Anderson's movie, Must Love Dogs. And then you said, with Janine Garofalo. And I was like, no. And then, how did it go? You said, what if Wes Anderson flipped everything and just started making regular movies?
Just regular, like, low-budget rom-coms.
Yeah, just not in his style. And I go, wait, what if he did that and also instead of having, like, every cool, low-key star, like, indie awesome star that you can think of, he just had the worst stars as the whole cast? And then at this point, we're fucking crying. And then I said the first person cast would be David Spade. And then, and then we couldn't, I thought the movie was going to start and we wouldn't be able to get it together. Who did you fucking say after I said David Spade? You said Elsa and Janny.
Allison Janney.
I couldn't. I couldn't. I was fucking
Allison Janney,
dying.
David Spade, Mario Lopez.
Mario Lopez. Holy shit.
A Wes Anderson movie
Dude,
with David Spade and Mario Lopez.
like what? Honestly, what would be better opposite? Like that would just flip the script so much. You'd be like indie god, and then you'd be like, I'm so indie that you don't even fucking understand any of this. And the whole audience is like, what happened? When does everything get symmetrical? Why did I pay for this? Oh my god, I hate us. I just pictured, I don't know why I pictured that Mystic Pizza movie, and I'm like, wait, Julia Roberts would be on the poster, but she's literally not in the movie.
She has like one of those, like the main Allison Janney has a sister that lives in California. So Julia Roberts is in the movie, but she's just in it in like a phone call, and she films it from her apartment, and they edit her into the movie. She's only in the movie once. Like
but no, it's
shot.
not her voice, and we're to believe it is, but everyone in the audience is like, that's not Julia Roberts.
They overdubbed Julia Roberts.
Oh my god, I hate us.
It's so funny.
I loved it.
Coming to Hallmark, Wes Anderson collection.
Coming to Lifetime movies.
God, that would be so fucking funny if a director did something like that.
I know. Like, what if he made, like, Mean Girls too?
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet he wants to. I bet all those people get pigeonholed and they're like, God, I wish I could just make, like, the stupidest movie.
But to purposefully do it, I think would really be funny. If, like, Ridley Scott.
Yes.
Like, started making, like, ABC made-for-TV movies.
Yes. Just made, like
this episode of The Goldbergs is directed by Ridley Scott.
Oh my god. That would be perfect.
Actors do it all the time. Actors show up in garbage all the time.
That's true. You know what I was also thinking during A Quiet Place? Well, I was thinking this last night.
I thought we weren't going to talk about this because nobody's seen it.
I know, but I just got a flashback. Listen, I was thinking how certain actors add a credibility to a movie, and then I was like thinking the whole time during Quiet Place 1, I'm like, if this was like, you know what I mean, if the guy and the girl were different people, it would be like Sharknado.
Yes.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
It would be like a joke of a movie if it wasn't them, right? It wouldn't be scary. You'd be like, oh, fucking K, that's a monster. Like, I don't know, it wouldn't be the same without credible stuff.
I think that they do, you know this, like from watching bad horror movies and stuff, like I feel like that's why all of a sudden they stick like an actor that you kind of know into it as like a general or a colonel, you know what I mean, because they're giving it star power, and then they put that person on the front of the Blu-ray, but they're only, again, like Julia Roberts, we were just saying, like they're only in the movie for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
But it's because it's a whole bunch of no names, and then you're supposed to be wowed that they got Michael Ironside to be in it.
Like in original Halloween, like would like the cop guy, he would have been in movies before, right?
Who was the cop?
I don't know if I know his name right. Is it Donald Pleasance? Is that his real name?
Oh yeah, Donald Pleasance. You mean the doctor? Yeah, Loomis.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. They put Donald Pleasance in that. Yeah, absolutely. They were like, this is our selling point for sure.
Yeah.
And the thing about Donald Pleasance being in Halloween, to stay on Halloween for just a second, Donald Pleasance carries that fucking series of movies as it goes on. He's the only one that stays in them, and he, in every single one of them, gets crazier and crazier as those movies go on, and he's great.
Yeah.
Because Halloween went through that whole fucking terrible, remember when it was like Michael Myers was actually born from the cult?
Mm-hmm.
What was that, Halloween 3 or 4? Like all of a sudden there's like a guy in a cowboy hat. Remember? And he runs like the cult of Michael Myers, and there's an underground like Satanists.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's super bad. But Pleasance is there doing great.
Yeah. This is a complete change, but you did a NPR show the other day about Satanic Panic.
Yes, I did one with a girl from the Satanic Temple of Detroit, which I don't know if the Satanic Temple of Detroit is still open. I think it might be closed or merged with like a larger Michigan Satanic Temple. But it was just a little segment on NPR talking about how like with the rise of QAnon and conspiracy theories, the kind of evangelical Christian base have really kind of jumped back to their, oh, it's the devil, oh, it's Satan, it's satanic influences, it's people are possessed by demons. We just talk about how it started and kind of where it came from, which is hard to do in a 22-minute segment.
Yeah, yeah.
Because people have always blamed shit on the devil since the beginning of time. So how are you going to wrap up like 6,000 years of blaming stuff on the devil in 22 minutes?
If anybody could do it, it's you.
I tried. I mean, I didn't go 6,000 years back. I went to the turn of the century with like spiritualism and then people saying, oh, you weren't channeling a ghost, you were being possessed by a demon. I touched on the Salem witch trials a little bit, so I guess I went back to the 1600s. But I mean, we talked about all that, but then I mostly talked about like in the 60s is when it really, the Satanic Panic really hit, because you had all of these parents that were baby boomers that grew up in like Ricky Nelson and I Love Lucy world, and now their kids were doing LSD and smoking pot and having sex. And these were families that all went to church on Sunday originally. And then their kids turned 18 and it was like, oh, fuck, like what happened? And so it was easier to blame everything on satanic influences than say like, oh, my child was unhappy at home and I was treating them like garbage.
Would that have been too, like, you know how they do those charts or whatever of like how like people who are super dedicated to religion go like down and down and down as time goes on? Would that have been some time where it like started kind of?
Yeah, you see a big shift in the 60s. I always say this, and people argue about, I mean, the argument has been made, and I kind of subscribe to it, which is called this like loss of American innocence. And I think it starts right after the Korean War, which is in the 1950s, because you have like music is like literally Buddy Holly and Elvis and like very sock hoppy and whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then for me personally, when I'm looking at trends in history, early 1960s, the fucking president gets killed on television.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we're not innocent anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so all of a sudden, the structures that people thought were unbreakable for so long, maybe you can challenge your parents. Maybe you can challenge the status quo. All of a sudden, you start getting the civil rights movement. The government starts Vietnam, and all of these young men are being drafted and just dying, and nobody really knows why. And the climate is right to challenge authority. And what authority at that time is greater than God? So people are like studying transcendental meditation and Buddhism and Taoism and Hinduism. And all of a sudden, all these people who for generations in America had only been a major religion, Judeo-Christian or Jewish, see their kids turning away from that. And if you're turning away from religion, you must be turning toward the opposite, which is the devil.
Right. Right.
And then all of a sudden, the 70s come along and people are playing Dungeons and Dragons and pretending to be demons and elves and goblins and fighting dragons. And then Kiss comes out and they're dressed like demons and blowing fire behind them. And it's a perfect climate for Satanic Panic. Ozzy bites a head off a bat and Bark at the Moon, Speak of the Devil. Like, it's just a perfect storm.
Yeah. Well, that was cool you got to do that.
Yeah. I'm supposed to, on Saturday, I have a meeting with the Detroit Free Press, because I guess the Detroit Free Press is doing an audio podcast about pieces of Michigan history. And I'm going to record a segment on Marion Gundella Kuklo, Michigan's Green Witch.
What? No way.
Yep.
How did they even know to ask you about that?
They were researching her and kept stumbling into my name. And most of the people that they were finding either weren't in the community anymore or have passed away. Yeah. And they reached out and said, hey, we're doing this piece on Marion. Would you want to talk to us for an audio podcast about her? And first thing I told them was, Marion still has a daughter that's alive. Like, you should reach out and try and talk to her. And they said they were doing that as well. And so I set up a time for Saturday to talk to them.
Cute. And I have her record because you gave me one.
Yes, I did. And if people want to get Gundella's record, it was re-released on Modern Harmonics. That's the one I gave you. It's green vinyl. and it's all of Gundella's spells. Because it originally came out, the original pressing I have, I think they only made 500 copies of it
Yeah.
40 years ago. So I was super happy when Modern Harmonics got the rights to repress it.
That record is also on YouTube. I
That's
listened
on
to
my channel.
Yeah, I listened to it on there before. It's it's Gundella, right?
Yeah,
For people that want to look it up. I don't think anything else would come up on YouTube if you search that. So
Gundella, the Green Witch of Detroit.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
rad though. One of her spells is about planting a dragon lily or something, dragon something, and I planted one. I have it in my kitchen, and that's
Yeah.
why.
Marion was great. She was like exactly what you want a witch, like your first witch. She's exactly what you want your first witch to be. Like
Yeah.
just happy and joyful and don't hurt anybody or anything and have fun and you don't have to do it any certain way. Like find your own path. Like so great.
Yeah.
You have such a community now where people are like, this is what you're supposed to do. You got to burn this at this time, at this day, and this, and if you don't, it's not going to work.
Worst.
And Marion was like, here's some of my ideas, but if they don't work, go ahead and try your own.
Yeah. That's it right there. Like,
she's like, I'm not you.
yeah, do whatever you feel is right. I'll even when I look up a spell, I'll do if it has let's say it has 6 ingredients, I'll take 4 and then I'll do whatever I want. I don't know, just make it your own.
Well, and there's certain things too, like it doesn't get talked about much in the magical community or whatever, but you'll see a lot of people saying and I understand it's tradition, so it gets passed down, whatever, but you'll see a lot of people do invocations or salutations to the north, south, east, and west, and they'll turn themselves from the north, to the south, to the east, to west, or in a certain direction, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that's mostly tradition because I don't think it was. I think it Columbus. So what was that? 1492. Maps up until the 1400s. If you went north on a map in the 1400s, that was actually east.
Oh.
The cardinal direction points that we use when we say north is one way and south is one way, that's only 400 or 500 years old because no one had made maps because no one had traveled around the world. You were oh, that direction is north because that's where it gets cold, but that might have been south to that person.
Mm-hmm. True.
And then if you look in older maps, if you go back even further, there's actually 6 direction points. There's north, south, east, west, up, and down.
What?
Yeah.
Into the sky?
It's debated upon what people meant by that, actually.
Yeah.
Because you could go north up and you could go east down. But but I'm saying we now take it for granted that oh, I'm going to face north and say north.
Mm-hmm.
But it's only been that way for 500 years. For thousands of years before that, people might have faced north and said down.
This is I still, as an adult, have to say waffle to know where's west and east. I do it.
What?
You say waffle, and west is on the left and east is on the right. It's like a mnemonic device. I guarantee other people do this. I didn't make that up.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What? Okay, north, south. You know how it is on the
north, south,
the directions,
east,
right?
west.
Right. Waffle. The word waffle. The W is on the left and the E is on the right. That's how people know what direction.
But do you know how to use the sun to figure it out?
I don't know.
The sun rises in the east.
Yeah.
And it sets in the west.
Yeah. I always think about that when I drive to New York and when I drive home from New York.
Right, because it's in front of you and behind you.
Yeah, you get so much more time if you're driving out there. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. What I'm saying, though, is to go back to Gundella and witchcraft. What I'm saying, though, is that people should do shit their own way because it's not just because someone said something and have been repeating it for 400 years doesn't mean that that's the way it's supposed to work for you.
Yeah. Totally.
You haven't existed for 400 years in this form, as far as we know.
I might be 400.
You
don't do it.
You knew I was going for a burn.
Yep. Old Town Roasting.
Do 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 do.
We've taken, okay, our lovely friends Old Town Roasting Coffee. First of all, we got a morning, I think it's called Morning Wood, is the blend that we're drinking right now. Listen, we watched the other night. What the fuck did we watch?
We watched. It was it when we watched Freaky?
Yeah, yeah. So we watched Freaky, which is the best, by the way. And we made that coffee, and me and you both looked at each other like our lives were changed. Like it tastes like the best, smoothest, yummiest, coziest diner coffee.
It was great.
And we like literally paused the movie like 3 times to get more coffee. We literally freaked out about the coffee the whole time. And it's all so then yeah, so I went Old Town Roasting, whatever episode that was. And now every time we see a thing in life, we do it to the unofficial theme of Old Town Roasting. I can't think of anything we said right now though, but we'll be out and we'll be like,
It's usually anything that has 4 syllables.
yeah, yeah. I can't think. I know we were doing it at the zoo.
Yes.
I feel like we did it around the farm part, obviously, around like the horses and the donkey.
Oh, there was a horse one for sure.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
so
think there was a sign or something that said like don't pet the horses or something.
yeah.
And that would have fit because that would have been don't pet the horses.
So everybody go to Old Town Roasting Instagram and their website and order the morning coffee because it's so good. All we do is drink coffee and talk about birds.
Did you like Adam's episode?
I loved it. I did. He's so funny.
He is so funny. I couldn't believe it. I can't believe I saw pictures from him and Amy doing their first event.
I know at Mansfield.
It was shocking to me to see people clapping and applauding in person. Like, I really felt overwhelmed and got kind of teary, like thinking about, oh, that's going to happen again. Like, we're going to be able to see each other. Like, it's weird.
I feel like us being at the zoo and the movies tonight were like the most people we've been around in fucking 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's getting easier. Just as long as you're vaxxed and you're careful, we're doing good. We're moving at our own pace.
Yeah. Is it? I don't know what Michigan's rules are. Could I do that some more?
Almost spit out my drink.
Do you still have to wear masks in places?
So I want to say she lifted it, or I want to say there's a national lift. I don't fucking remember, but I know that businesses can choose what they want to do, and most of them, at least here, are choosing to keep doing it for now.
Because I think when I went to the gas station the other day, I wore a mask, but when I walked in, I don't think I saw the mask sign on the door. But the cashier was wearing a mask, but the guy who walked out before I walked in wasn't wearing one.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to unless it's posted. And I think some businesses felt the need to take it down from the pressure of the official ban being lifted. But like, I know a lot of tattooers are like, you still have to show up with a mask on. And then also, one of my clients the other day came from Tennessee, and she said there's just been like barely any rules this whole entire time. And she's like, it's been such a pleasure being up here because everywhere I go, people still have a mask on. I'm like, yeah, it's been like this the whole time. So,
right.
I don't know. I'm still going to do it for a while for sure, especially because I'm in close quarters tattooing people. I have to be right in their face. So I'm going to keep doing it for a while and making them do it for quite a while. But
I mean, I think because of the situation with my parents and stuff made me very hyper aware to other people's compromised situations.
Yeah, right. Yeah. It's like, why not do it still? I don't know.
Yeah. And then I was reading a thing like, and again, this is just something I glanced at. I didn't even read the entire full article, so I shouldn't really even be talking about it. But I read something about because of quarantine and because of masks and because of hand washing, like there were no flu deaths last year.
I know, like none. Yeah. Yeah.
So like, how about we keep doing some of this?
Yeah.
How about you keep washing your hands, you fucking monsters?
I really too like think that's good to like people know when you're sick, and it's like, yeah, if you have to run to CVS and get cold medicine, like, yeah, put a mask on. That's great. Like, why should you get 5 people sick when you're there? You know what I mean?
Yeah, like maybe that should have always been a thing.
Yeah, that's like just courtesy. I don't know. I'm down to keep doing that. And also, as a woman, I've seen an awful lot of women posting, I want to wear masks forever because I haven't been, A, told to smile in public one time during the pandemic, and B, it's like nobody hits on you because they can't see their face. Like, I know it's like people think it's flattering, and yes, some days you do want compliments, but then also other days you just want to go to the gas station and pump your gas, and you don't need like some weirdo talking to you. Like, can I just be anonymous for one fucking second? So like, I think women are digging the masks a little bit, but this is random too. But I noticed I've been checking like our analytics online a little bit, and I noticed just in the last few weeks that it's popped up that we're like listened to quite a bit in South Africa and Denmark and Ireland. So I just wanted to say hi to people because that's crazy to me.
That is pretty crazy. Is that just like spam bots trying to figure out how to
No,
like get into our email account and fuck us up?
people are listening, so say hi. Don't be rude.
Hi, people in other countries. I saw that we get listened to in Australia and Mexico a lot.
Cute.
So, hola.
Hola. And what do they say?
Good day.
Shut up. No, they say this, they say the as thing where they're like, oh, that's sick as, or that's like, I think it's supposed to be like sick as fuck.
Wait a second. Wait, though. You just made me think of something else. What do we say in Michigan? What was it making me laugh the other day? You said we say in Michigan?
Like the double, like if you were like.
Oh, the negative correction.
Yeah. We're like.
We're
like, you're not going to go do that, are you? And you'd be like, yeah, no. We say both words. Or
are you really going to drink that? Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. Or like you're like, do you really like that guy? You'd be like, yeah, no, yeah. You can like bring it back around.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Oh, and then there was the other one where you were like when you're agreeing with somebody, like if you went, oh, I fucking love this ice cream, and I'd be like, no, yeah, for sure. Like you it's like three, it goes in every direction.
Something in Michigan, you're only happy if at first you don't agree with them. Then it always has to be no first, or yeah first. No, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no. Oh my God, we've been laughing like idiots the last couple of weeks.
That's all right.
Okay, listen, in my notes here, and I don't know what the fuck this means, and I hope you remember, I literally just wrote down mushroom doodle. What does that mean?
Mushroom doodle?
Yeah. What is that from?
I don't know.
It's from Twitter. Isn't it from Twitter?
Was it?
I don't remember.
I don't know.
Wasn't there? Oh, fuck. I feel like that was like a translation or something meant something, and then I feel like you tweeted at me mushroom doodle or something. I don't remember what it means, but I like it.
I don't know either. Mushroom doodle's all right. I know I was supposed to tell the story. You wanted me to tell the story of the Holy Redeemer.
Who's that?
Remember I was telling you I was riding my bike, but I have to find a good coat to ride my bike because I don't want to wear it with a trench coat because I don't want it flapping behind me like a cape.
Yes.
But that reminded me of the Holy Redeemer, who was the guy that rode his bike around Royal Oak in a black trench coat.
Yeah.
And the one time I talked to him was at a diner at like 2:00 in the morning, and he opened up his trench coat and he had 3 full-size wooden stakes duct taped on the inside of his coat, and he told me it was for hunting vampires. This is like a 50-year-old man. I was like maybe 20 at the time.
I feel like that's going to be me somehow.
And then on the back of his black trench coat, he had written in like silver Sharpie marker, "The Holy Redeemer."
Oh my God. And just rode around on a bike like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yes. And he wore a black cowboy hat. And on the palm of his hand, he had a pentagram that he had self-tattooed on his hand.
Ugh, I remember you told me that, and I got really creeped out.
Yeah. He was not, we all knew to like not engage with him. But he was that type of guy, like he would, like on his bike, he's like 50 and dressed how I told you he dressed, and talking, like saying that there were vampires that he was going to kill. And he would like hang outside of like the coffee shops and like try and talk to girls.
Yeah.
It was weird.
See, this is where it would work, because if you were outside that store and somebody went, "Are you friends with that guy?" You'd be like, "Yeah, no."
That's the perfect. Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no. This has nothing to do with anything, but I just remembered when I dropped you off today and I drove up the street next to yours, somebody was throwing out a pumpkin blow mold.
I don't even know what that is.
Light up a blow mold is like those like vintage light up holiday decorations, lawn decorations, like a pumpkin or a snowman
Yes,
or
yeah.
yeah, they're like worth money and I wanted to take it, but the person was sitting on their fucking porch and I didn't want to garbage pick right in front of them. But I like want to go back over there and see if it's there. But there were so many garbage pickers around your house, it's probably gone, but I wonder if it's still there.
My neighborhood's good for garbage, and we always have a lot of garbage pickers.
I know, but you could sell that easily for like $50. But I would want to keep it.
Right.
Oh, maybe I'll drive over there after this.
Get that blow mold.
Well, listen, I looked at it and it kind of looked like it was either I don't know if it was dirty or if like the front was maybe it just had like water in it and it
I
got
think
like
that's what we used to call a girl at Gus's.
you're so stupid.
Not me.
Yeah, you've never done anything wrong in your whole life.
I have. What do you want to hear about something I've done that's wrong?
I don't. This is fucked up. I don't know.
I punched a girl in the face once.
Well, don't talk about that.
Why?
What did she do?
She hit me with a bike chain.
Yeah, it's not very nice. I guess I'll allow it.
I wouldn't give her a cigarette. She asked me for a cigarette. I said I only had one left. I was 15.
And she whipped you with a bike chain?
She was holding a bike chain. We were outside Noir Leather, and she said, if I was a dude, you'd give me a cigarette. And I said, I only have one. And I turned around, and then I felt the bike chain hit me in the back of the head. Ow. And then when I turned around to grab it, it hit me in the face.
Ow.
And my natural inclination was just to punch. So I punched and I hit her in the face and knocked her down. And then she said I wasn't supposed to hit girls. And I said, if you were a dude, I would have punched you in the face.
Yeah, no fuck. I'm arrested. If we were at Gus's and somebody hit you, I don't even know what I would do.
Am I allowed to laugh about punching a girl in the face, even though
in that situation? Yeah, you're not supposed to whip somebody with a bike chain. This isn't like The Walking Dead. Like, who does that?
I was trying to think of something I did that's wrong, and I still feel that was wrong. You shouldn't hit people, I guess.
You want to hear the most fucked up thing that I saw? Not even like literally right before this, the local news was on. It was Channel 2. I don't even know why I just have to talk about this because it was fucking so brutal. There was this like, I think in Allen Park, which I don't even fully know where that is, but there's a pet store and there was this surveillance video in the fucking pet store. And there was this like psychotic guy who had bought a bird from there and he brought it back in this little ass box. And he's like, I want to return this bird. And the guys, you could tell these guys have owned the pet store for like a long ass time. There was like 4 like dudes behind the counter and they're like older. And they opened the box and I guess the bird was like bleeding, like one of its leg arms was fucked up. And they were like, I don't know if like he did it or if like he had other birds or something and it attacked it. So he was trying to bring it back. So like the other birds didn't hurt it or some shit. So they were like, we can't take back your fucking hurt bird. Like we can take it to a vet for you. I don't know what you want us to do. So listen, they showed the surveillance video.
Do I want to hear this?
Oh, the guy fucking, first of all, slammed his hand on the box on the counter once, throws it on the fucking floor and stomped on it like 5 times right in front of the fucking guys. Like it was, I don't even know how they showed that on the fucking news. And the guys in the video were holding the one guy back. And the guy recounting this on the news was like, his like chin was shaking. He's like, we're animal people. And I don't know how he held himself back. And he's like, and he came over my house later that night and he was still upset. Like, and I guess they know who the guy is and they're gonna hopefully press animal cruelty charges. But it was like one of the worst videos I've ever seen on the news. And I hope that guy fucking gets his house lit on fire because that was so fucked up. I don't know, I had to tell somebody.
That's fucked up.
So fucked up. What the fuck is wrong with people? Like those people. And then the guy right on the news too was like, he was like, first of all, I'm worried for his other animals if he does that shit. And he's like, and I worry for the people in his house. Like, what does he do to other humans? Like, that guy's a fucking psycho. And then they were saying how they know who it is. And the guy's only like 23 or 21 or something. Like, who stomps on a bird in the middle of a pet store? I like seriously, I like swear I lit a candle right after and I wished some fucking nasty shit on that guy.
Yeah, for sure.
So brutal. I fucking hate people. I don't know why I just thought I had this. You know when you see something fucked up and you just have to tell somebody? I fucking
Yeah, yeah. I was working at Hour magazine. Obviously, this is decades ago or whatever, but one of the editors there, Dave, who was like one of the only people that was nice that I still like after working there. Dave comes in one day and he was like, he looked like he had like that face of someone who has been in some kind of an accident.
Mm-hmm.
Like he was just, and it was coming back from lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes over to my desk. He's like, Tenny, I need to talk to you right now, like serious talk. And I was like, okay. And we like got up and we went, and there was this little stairwell that was kind of blocked off from everything. And I'm like, what is going on? And he goes, there's a bird in the alley. He's like, and it has two broken wings and it's flopping around in the alley.
God damn it.
And I was like, fuck. And he's like, what am I supposed to do?
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him and I'm like, what do you mean? Why me?
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, of all the people here, he's like, you're going to tell me the right thing to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked at him and I said, I'm the only person here that's going to tell you what you have to do, that you already know what you have to do,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's okay to do what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And he put his head down. He's like, yep. And then like he left and he came back. And when he came back, he just like walked past my desk and looked at me, and we didn't talk for the rest of the day.
This is literally why this is my origin story of going vegetarian. I stopped eating red meat and pork when I was 15. So I don't even have any recollection of what it fucking tastes like anymore. But for a while, I still ate chicken and turkey because it's pretty hard to go from like 0 to 100 and just not eat anything.
Sure.
So I ate chicken and turkey for a long ass time. And then I was working at a restaurant and it was really late and it was a snowstorm and I was the only waiter and there was no fucking tables and it was just one of those you wait until you can lock the door and get the fuck out of there. So outside the window there was a pigeon in the snow that was like flopping around. It had like one bum wing and I'm like, it was snowing so fast. I'm like, it's gonna get buried and it's gonna die. So I went out there with a box and I scooped the pigeon into a box with like towels and put it in the corner in the restaurant, which is like, I could have got fired. You can't bring a fucking animal into a restaurant, but I was like, I don't care. So I hid it like in the corner and then I called an emergency vet and I'm like, I don't know, this isn't my bird and I don't have the money to pay for this, but like, I can't leave it in the snow to die. Like, can you look at it? And they're like, yeah, for sure. We'll look at it and try and fix it. You just bring it here when you get off work. It was like a 24-hour emergency vet. So I was like, okay. So this was at like 9 and I wasn't off till like 11. So I was like trying to give it some bread and like warm it up and whatever. And it lasted like, I would say like maybe a half an hour. And then I like went over by it and its eyes were still open. And for whatever reason, like when I was over there, it like looked at me in my fucking eyes and gave a few like last flaps, like its last hurrah, and literally died right in front of me and like closed its eyeball and like just passed right in front of me. And like literally in that moment, I'm like, it flashed in my head. I'm like, I don't know why the fuck I'm still eating birds. I'm still eating chicken. I'm still eating turkey. If I could put a fork in this thing right now and eat it, I should still be eating meat. And I literally, from that moment, because of that pigeon, never ate meat ever again.
Yep.
So, because I never watched anything die before. It was so fucking horrible. And so now, literally, still, when I see a pigeon, I'm like, hey, buddy, like I have like such an affinity with pigeons, like because that pigeon like saved so many animals. Like I would have kept eating bird, and I'm like, what's the fucking difference? Like
there was my pigeon story was was over at a strip mall at 13 in Woodward, which isn't there anymore.
mm,
And I was walking into one of the stores over there, and there was like not a crowd, but like 5 or 6 people, and they were like, as I was walking toward them, they were all like laughing and like being really loud, and I couldn't figure out. And then like off to the side, maybe 10 feet away, there was like a kid on a bike, and he was just kind of watching what was going on. And he was maybe, I don't know, 9 or 10 on his bicycle. And as I walked toward them, I realized all these adult people were like laughing. There was a pigeon that had obviously like broken its neck, and it was just like spinning around in circles on the cement. And people were like, look at him go, and he was like bouncing off the bike rack and stuff. And I was like, I immediately like attacked, like verbally attacked all these people. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you fucking people? Get the fuck out of here. I'm like, this bird is hurt. Like, get the fuck out of here. And as soon as they like yelled at me and went away, the kid on the bike came over and he's like, what are we going to do? And I was like, I could tell that its neck was broken and one of its wings was hurt. It's probably got hit by a car. And I went and got a shopping cart. There was a shopping cart, and I went and got a shopping cart. And I think it was right around fall. So I had like brown work utility gloves in my pocket that I always used to wear. And I like picked the pigeon up and I put him in the back of the shopping cart. And I took one of the gloves off and I gave it to the kid. And I said, put this on your hand, don't touch it. I go, birds can be dirty. I said, but I pet his head and keep him calm. I'm going to go and call animal rescue and they'll come take care of him. And he was like, okay, great. And so like I watched him petting the bird's head and the bird was calming down, but I could tell like the bird was not long, like whatever.
Yeah.
And so I like walked over to the payphone away from the kid and just like pretended to make a call to animal control. And then walked back over and he was like, are they coming? I'm like, they're coming. I'm like, but you should probably get home. Like, you don't have to stay here and wait. I'll stay with the bird. And he was like, okay. And he kept petting it and like saying like, they're coming, buddy. Like, whatever. And the bird was dead. Like, even like he was still talking to him. And that was one of those, a pivotal pigeon moments where I was like, there's a lot of people who are garbage.
Yeah.
Like this animal is suffering and there's this group of people taking joy in it.
Yeah, I don't know when humans started the idea that basically everything is below them. Like nothing is below you. And most of those creatures are smarter than you and more sympathetic than you and contribute more to the fucking ecosystem than you do. Like,
yes.
Humans are garbage.
Well, that's a good talk.
I know, this is a really good ending.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Do we have any plans for this weekend or anything?
Let's think. I want to go to the zoo again soon, but the only day this week that's like chill is Thursday and I have to work, but we'll figure it out. So I'd like to go on an overcast day so we can see different activity this time because they were all hot as fuck the other day.
Yeah, they were all taking naps and shit.
I know. So we'll figure it out. I don't know. There's other stuff I want to do. I want to go see Spiral too.
Well, we have to figure out when we're going to have a garage sale.
Yes. We need money.
But also, I need to go to a thrift store.
Me too. That sounds fun. Let's do that.
We have to go thrifting.
We do. Yeah.
So, yeah. So that's things we can plan on doing.
Yeah.
All right, I'm done.
Okay.
Are you done?
I don't fucking know.
Are you done?
Yes!
Okay, bye!